All right, let's dive into a world where dark fantasy and some pretty deep philosophy crash into each other. We're about to go on a journey of self-overcoming through a place that's as much a state of mind as it is a physical forest.
I want you to really hang on to this question because it is the absolute core of this whole story. It's a riddle our hero has to solve, or he's going to get completely crushed by it. What if the very wall standing in your way is the only thing that can actually teach you how to break through?
And this quote, this is our North Star. This little aphorism is basically the key that unlocks this entire journey. We are definitely coming back to this, but for now, just try to remember that contrast, law written in stone versus sleeping sand. Let's find out what that really means.
So, our story kicks off in a place that is just relentlessly hostile. And I don't mean it's just the setting. This forest is an active antagonist. Welcome to the forest of the It Was, a world literally built from the unchangeable past. Yeah, so forget everything you know about forests. No living wood, no green leaves. I want you to picture a place where the trees themselves are petrified history. Every single trunk, every branch is a monument to what has already happened. It's a constant physical reminder that the past is heavy, rigid, and you can't escape it.
But here's the thing. This forest isn't some natural wonder. It was made. It was created by the Maleficracy, a coven of witches who took the wild, flowing power of magic and deliberately froze it solid into a system of total control. This forest is the result of that. There's actually a great philosophical term for an environment like this. It's called the not I. It's basically everything outside of your own consciousness, the objective world, that seems to exist for one reason, to push back against you, to limit you, and to show you where your boundaries are. It is the ultimate other.
And you can see just how total this limitation is. The canopy overhead, that's not leaves, that's a tangled web of rules, the thou shalt. It casts this permanent shadow of ancestral law everywhere. The very air feels thick, hostile, like it's designed to just press down and crush your individual will, to tell you this is where you stop.
So, you've got this nightmare world. Who could possibly survive here? Well, this is where we meet our hero, the initiate. But he's not just some character. He actually embodies a very specific philosophical stage, the camel.
So this idea comes straight from Nietzsche's philosophy. The camel is the first of three big spiritual transformations. It's the spirit that shows its strength not by fighting, but by kneeling down and taking on the heaviest burdens it can possibly find. All the weight of history, tradition, and duty. It basically says, go on, load me up, I can take it.
And what are these burdens he's carrying? They're not physical things. They're the crushing weight of memory, of the unchangeable it was. Our initiate is carrying the ancient laws of his people, the duties he's been given, and even the failures of people who came before him, like this character Ganem, the false suitor, whose story is a cautionary tale about what happens when you just submit. And if all that wasn't enough, layered on top of everything is the spirit of gravity. Think of it as the very atmosphere of this place. It's this invisible, crushing pressure that makes every single step feel like a punishment and every breath feel like a struggle. It's the force that wants everything, especially the human spirit, to just lie down and stop moving. So all of this brings us to the main conflict, but it's not a battle with swords and sorcery. It's a silent, internal war. It's a dialogue between one person's will and the crushing weight of the entire world. Okay, and this is a really crucial point. This external pressure, this check, or Anstoß, as the philosopher Fichte called it, is actually necessary. His whole argument was that you need an obstacle to push against. You have to kind of bruise yourself against the wall of reality to even realize that you're a force that's capable of pushing back.
And the forest, this not I, it makes its case very, very clearly. It speaks through the grinding stones and the petrified trees, and it's basically saying, I am the wall of history. I limit you, and because I limit you, I define you. It's telling him he's nothing more than the shape of his own cage.
And this is the great temptation, right? The forest whispers all the old laws, the ancient thou shalts. It's trying to seduce the initiate into just giving up, into accepting that he's not a free agent, that he's just an object being moved around by the currents of history that surround him.
But right at that point of maximum pressure, when it seems like he's about to break, something else happens. This isn't a story about submission. It's a story about a breakthrough. It's the awakening of what we'll call the absolute I.
This is the initiate's response, and it is a huge realization. He doesn't deny the weight, he uses it. By feeling the crushing force of the forest, he simultaneously feels his own strength pushing back. The resistance from the world is actually what proves the existence of his own will. And this realization just changes everything. So I'll ask you that question again. Is that big obstacle in your life an enemy that's there to stop you? Or is it a tool, maybe the only tool, that can show you how strong you really are? Let's just look at these two perspectives side by side. From the old perspective, the obstacle defines you from the outside. It's a wall that just stops you, period. But from this new perspective, from the awakening, that same obstacle reveals your strength from within. The wall becomes a weight that proves you're strong enough to lift it. And this is the core insight, the real aha moment. The burden wasn't the problem. The burden was the solution. The initiate needed that huge, impossible weight to have something to overcome, and in doing that, he finally got to measure the true scale of his own power. So this huge internal awakening completely transforms how he sees the external world. The forest itself hasn't changed one bit, but his relationship to it, it's been turned completely upside down. And now, finally, we can come back to our guiding aphorism, and man, it means so much more now, doesn't it? As the camel, the initiate saw the forest as an unbreakable law, as solid stone. But now, as this awakened spirit, he sees that same stone for what it really is, sleeping sand. The prison has become a quarry. He realizes that this calcified history isn't a permanent barrier at all. It's just raw material waiting to be eroded, to be reshaped, and to be redefined by the wind of a powerful will. His will. This moment marks the end of his time as the camel, the one who just bears burdens. He has overcome the it was. But this is only the beginning of his journey. He's now ready for the next transformation, one that won't just reshape sand, but will shatter stone, foreshadowing the lightning that is about to come.